Chad Basin region has been heavily impacted by insurgency, with over 6 million people affected, giving rise to displacement and refugee crisis with high rate of poverty. To combat insurgent activities in the region, the Multinational Joint Task Force, MNJTF, was established, comprising military personnel from Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, whose coordinated offensive has significantly weakened the insurgents and curtailed their operations. Addressing socio-economic challenges, however, became imperative. Hence, a regional collaboration was formed under the aegis of the Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum, serving as a platform for cross-border and regional interaction, thereby complementing military offensive towards ensuring regional stability. The Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum meets annually to brainstorm and re-strategize towards the progress and development of the region. This year, Yobe State is hosting the forum, with Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, serving as a base. On this edition of Panorama, we will be looking at the preparations, successes, issues, and way forward. I am Abubakar Musa, welcoming you to the program. President Bola Tinubu is canvassing an improved collaboration between Nigeria and Algeria that will also help to implement the Trans-Saharan African Gas Pipeline project. The President Tinubu was addressing the new Algerian ambassador to Nigeria, one of the 3 new envoys who presented letters of credence to him. This Friday, State House correspondent Musbao Danwahab will now tell us more.
55-year-old Hussein Masoud is the new Algerian ambassador to Nigeria. He is also representing the North African country in ECOWAS, covering Togo and Benin Republic. His country has commonality with Nigeria as also a large producer and exporter of oil and gas. He assumed this position when President Bola Tinubu is preparing Nigeria as a net exporter of gas to the world. Expressing hope for a new partnership with Algeria in this regard, President Bola Tinubu expressed belief that African countries should collaborate more to lift one another to become stronger together. The Algerian ambassador equally agreed that the Trans-Sahara African Gas Pipeline project and other proposed regional development projects will significantly impact the continent. Masoud said Algeria would continue to support Nigeria in negotiating for improved livelihood on the continent with multilateral institutions. The Republic of Finland also sent Ms. Sanna Selin as its new envoy in Nigeria at a time the relationship between both countries is witnessing dimensional growth. Her meeting offered the President the opportunity to comment on the recent arrest of Simon Ekpa. President Tinubu commended the intervention of the Finnish government with the arrest and detention of Simon Ekpa, saying his government would not tolerate actions and statements that will lead to divisiveness among citizens. He lauded the Finnish authorities for the timely intervention that safeguarded the nation's integrity and mitigated an action that threatened peaceful coexistence. He said even as a child born into activism, he does not believe in divisiveness, as he noted that Nigeria needs cohesion and cooperation to bring about developments. The President also pointed out that the ambassador's priorities, including ICT, agriculture, and education, will directly impact the country's developments. The ambassador of Finland extolled the President for his courage in initiating reforms that will benefit the economy and ensure prosperity in the future. Similarly, Mr. Gautier Mignon is the new head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS. President Tinubu acknowledged the EU as one of the highest trading partners of Nigeria, urging the envoy to work towards elevating the volume of transactions and strengthening the ties. He said Nigeria needs support in digitalizing and automating operations and processes for rendering services.
To foster an era for Nigeria, certainly, of economic prosperity in a rapidly changing world and with rapidly changing dynamics. Nigeria continues to lead, especially in Africa, in fostering peace and security. And in this guise, we always seek the support and collaboration of the European Union.
Ambassador Minyo told President Tinubu that Nigeria holds many untapped potentials, adding that more could be realized through development cooperation and technology leveraging. From the State House, Musbah Nanwahab, NT News.
President Kashim Shettima has returned to Nigeria after his eventful engagements at the 2025 World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The Vice President, who represented Nigeria at the annual Global Economic Summit, presented the nation's investment opportunities to a global audience, advocated African economic integration, and held strategic meetings with world leaders and international organizations. While in Davos, Vice President Shettima participated in forums that drew attention to the importance of driving investment into Africa's frontier markets. The U.S. air carriers United Airlines Boeing 787 departed from Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, to Washington, D.C. at about 12 midnight on Thursday, January 23, 2025, made an air return to Lagos and landed safely at about 3:22 in the morning on Friday, 24 January. In a press statement, the Director, Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Obiageli Ora, indicates that all 245 passengers and 11 crew members on board were disembarked and rescued safely. She further stated that the 4 passengers and 2 crew members who sustained major injuries due to panic during the turbulence, including additional 27 passengers, are receiving medical attention at various health facilities, while passengers who sustained minor injuries were given first aid treatment and were discharged immediately. While investigation is ongoing to find out the root cause of the incident, the authority, according to the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of FAN, will continue to provide updates as they become available. Now, the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has unveiled a new General Multipurpose Identity Card. The card combines identity verification with access to social benefits and financial services. Victor Azu has more on the story.
New General Multipurpose Card is not just another card. Unlike the current version, which serves as only a means of identification, this upgraded card opens the door to a world of possibilities, giving holders access to social benefits and financial services. But there is a catch. The cost of this card remains a mystery. The Rector Card Management Services offered a telling analogy, comparing it to the cost of similar cards in the country, a hint that it may not come cheap.
It's going to be anchored on the bank. Who is going to issue these cards to you? Banks, again, may decide to add additional value, additional services, additional features to you. So therefore, right now, we are not fixing it and forcing until the card will be 1 naira, will be 2,000.
Private sector partners who are working on the project also shed light on the card's efficiency and its robust security features, promising it will meet global standards.
As a general multipurpose card, we are embedding the payments in addition to the identity in the card. So you have a card who's able to, which you can use for identity, but at the same time enhance payments.
The card has 32 wallets. So across multiple ministries, departments, and agencies, that same card can be utilized to access multiple other types of programs.
Meanwhile, the Director General of NIMSI, Abisoye Kuka-Odushote, hosted a delegation from the World Bank, which is funding the ID4D project. She emphasized how the World Bank loan will ensure that NIL enrollment reaches even the most vulnerable Nigerians, leaving no one behind.
We want to ensure that any groups that are marginalized will definitely be given the opportunity to be included in this enrollment drive, and also ensure that they have a NIN issued to them.
For now, the rollout of the new General Multipurpose Card will be gradual, with implementation happening in phases. But for millions of Nigerians, it signals more than convenience. It offers hope for inclusivity and access to critical services. This new initiative might just be the bridge between identity and opportunity. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
This is Panorama. On the Nigerian Television Authority, we have another set of reports for you as soon as we return. Back. Let's move on now. To foster regional stability, economic prosperity, and ensure welfare and well-being of communities in the Lake Chad region, a strategic partnership was formed, tagged the Lake Chad Region Governors Forum, comprising countries that make up the region to include Republic of Chad, Niger, Cameroon, and Nigeria. The forum meets annually to take stock of achievements, identify challenges, and chart the way forward for peace and development. With the forum set to hold critical stakeholders' engagement, Pauline Kujevana x-rays issues on the table and possible outcomes.
The Lake Chad region is highly impacted by insurgency, resulting in regional economic disintegration, displacement, and high poverty rates amidst climate change, depletion of sustainable livelihood sources, among other pressing issues. To address these challenges threatening the very existence of the region, a strategic alliance to foster regional collaboration was formed, comprising countries that make up the Lake Chad Basin region, to include Nigeria, Chad, Niger, and Cameroon, culminating into what is now known as the Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum. 5 years on, the forum has made remarkable strides in stemming the tide of insecurity, addressing issues of economic downturn, human rights abuses, and displacement, yet not completely out of the woods. As the Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum prepares for its 5th edition under the auspices of the Yobe State government, topical issues are expected to be laid on the table.
All is set, we have been preparing, and this is following a series of pre-forum events, engagements that led to the agreement of venue, date, and time for the forum. Our guests from across the globe, from the EU, from Germany, from the UN, from LCBC, from AU, from UND, all our guests, some are already on ground, some are coming into Maiduguri, and we hope to have a very pleasant and successful 5th Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum hosted by Yobe State government.
With more impactful deliberations and strategic engagement underway, it is expected that recommendations made will further enhance socio-economic growth and development. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
From January 27th to 30th, 2025, the Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum will bring together regional leaders, policy makers, development partners, and key stakeholders under one roof to address the pressing challenges and opportunities within the Lake Chad Basin region. Today, we are setting the stage for what promises to be an impactful gathering with our guest, the Technical Director, Lake Chad Basin Commission, Hyacinth Banseka, ready to give an overview on that. Mr. Hyacinth Banseka, it's actually a great pleasure to have you on Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abubakar Musa, and thank you for giving us the opportunity. Permit me thank the management of NTA and also thank the host country through the President and the people of Nigeria for hosting this forum for us.
All right. Could you give us a brief background on the Lake Chad Basin Commission and the primary objectives of the Lake Chad Basin, Governors Forum?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Exactly. I think the Lake Chad Basin Commission, as you may know, is a transboundary lake basin organization. The commission was established in 1964 by the 4 riparian countries. This is Cameroon, Nigeria, Chad, and Niger. However, in 1996, the Central African Republic joined the Commission, adhered to the convention, and Libya also was admitted in 2008. So currently, the Lake Chad Basin Commission is made up of 6 member states. The primary objective is really to manage the waters of the Lake Chad and also manage the ecosystems, but more especially to promote regional integration, sustain peace, and preserve security. So the Commission has been in existence. We celebrated our 60th anniversary, and so we have been working together with our member states to see how to advance on regional cooperation within the basin. And the Lake Chad Governors Forum is one of these platforms that we are using to advance cooperation through what we call our regional strategy for stabilization, resilience, and recovery of areas affected by Boko Haram in the Lake Chad Basin. For the forum, I want to start by thanking the governments of the Yobe State, especially the governor and the people of Yobe State, who are the host of the forum, and also the governor and the people of Borno, who are sort of providing the venue for organizing. We have been working with them, and one of the key objectives of this forum is really to facilitate dialogue, promote networking, and just to ensure that recovery and resilience activities are put at the forefront of discussion and facilitate networking with stakeholders to help us mobilize the resources that we need to stabilize our region and ensure long-term peace and sustainability.
Okay, that's nice to hear. Now, Mr. Hyacinth, what are the key themes for this year's forum, and what outcomes should we anticipate in the long run?
Thank you very much. In terms of the key theme, just to put in perspective, the theme of the forum is decided with the governor's offices. All the countries meet and agree. So the forum is really a forum that is built from bottom up. So the theme for this forum is about rebuilding the Lake Chad Basin and consolidating the gains. If I take us back memory lane, this forum, the first forum was held in 2018 here in Maiduguri. And one of the key decisions of that forum was for the Lake Chad Basin Commission to work with the member states to develop a regional strategy for stabilization, resilience, and recovery of the affected areas. The Lake Chad Basin Commission is proud to have worked with key stakeholders like the African Union, the United Nations Development Programme, other UN agencies, and our partners of the International Support Group, Germany, the UK, Netherlands, and Sweden and other countries, to sort of develop this strategy. And this strategy is serving as a key tool for facilitating this peace and development recovery within the basin. So one of the key things we are aiming to achieve is first to make sure that we can be able to leverage sort of the partnerships that have been established to build and consolidate the gains that we have achieved over the past years. We are going to be discussing issues related to what is happening in terms of security and what are the humanitarian situation. We are going to be looking at how do we capitalize on durable solutions for managing the IDPs, internally displaced populations, and the refugees, because other approaches have been proven to be problematic. Can we adopt this? How are the countries? We have observed over the years that the member states have different approaches to managing the exits from Boko Haram, and even in managing demobilizing the non-state armed groups. Now, how do we harmonize approaches? We look at all these approaches, discuss them, and see what can we do to make sure that there is harmonization. We are going to look at the issue of violent extremism. How do we curb illicit drug trafficking? How do we curb drug abuse among our youths? So these are some of the key themes. One of the key focus areas of the discussions is also how we engage the civil society. These are a key stakeholder in terms of social cohesion. How do we engage the civil society in the activities we do to make sure that what we do is bottom up?
Okay, let's talk about this now. Technical Director, Lake Chad Basin Commission. Can you share more about the pre-forum events scheduled for the week and how they will contribute to the overall discussions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Abubakar. Yeah, one of the experiences, the pre-forum is actually one of the lessons we have learned over the years in implementing the strategy since 2018. One of the key, there has been some requests by stakeholders that the 3 days of the forum were not sufficient for everybody to have a space. So we created the pre-forum. The first edition was in the 4th edition in N'Djamena. Currently, we are going to have close to 13 pre-forum events over 2 days. So the forum is now structured around a pre-forum and the main forum. The 3 main forum events will be the CSO forum, which is at the forefront of all the pre-forum events. But this time around, we have an innovation. We are going to have the first meeting of traditional rulers. So we are looking forward to getting how our traditional rulers are going to discuss about how they support the Commission in its mandate of preserving peace and safeguarding security within the basin. We are also going to look at the governor's offices are going to sit and discuss, look at the different declarations that have been made, and look at how do we consolidate these gains, because this is a team. They have to think about it before we get into the forum. So these are some of the key events, but we also have multiple events by our partners. We have the Plan International organizing an event with youth. We have researchers who will be presenting outcome of their studies from the University of Greenwich. We have the IOM, International Organization for Migration, and the Department of Peace Operations. So all of these institutions, we have the Bonn International Center for Conflict Studies. So I'm citing them because we can't have time to present all their events, but all these institutions will be presenting the outcome of what they have been doing.
Mr. Hyacinth Banseka, I'm sorry, we just have to leave the discussion here for now due to time factor, but I wish we could continue. Don't worry, we will invite you some other time for more discussions on Panorama or any other program on the Nigerian Television Authority. Thank you so much for being part of Panorama today. We've actually been discussing with Hyacinth Banseka, the Technical Director, Lake Chad Basin Commission. Now to the trending news in the world of sports.
Ahead of the African Nations Cup draw scheduled for Rabat, Morocco on Monday, 3-time African champions Nigeria have been placed in Pot 1 alongside 7-time winners Egypt, cup holder Côte d'Ivoire, 2-time winners Algeria and host Morocco. The draw ceremony, which is the 35th African Cup of Nations final, will see dignitaries drawn from across the continent in attendance, including the newly appointed Super Eagles head coach Eric Chelle, alongside top administrators of the Nigerian Football Federation. All is now set for the grand finale of the Sahil Savannah International Horse Racing Tournament in Bida, Niger State. After 3 days of fascinating competition, which involved displaying of expertise by the jockeys and demonstration of strength by the horses.
The competition is already interested here. I'm very happy to watch that all the people are happy and following this program. It's very nice.
Horse racing activity is a very exciting event. You can just only compare it to how you see the reaction of people when they watch, Super Eagles play. You can see this is like one of the only things that unite all Nigerians at once.
Meanwhile, with the much anticipated comeback of the second stanza of the Nigerian Premier Football League, actions resumed Saturday across various centers, with Nasarawa United going against Katsina United, while Enugu Rangers face Niger Tornadoes as Ikorodu City tackles Sunshines. Other games are billed for Sunday. With Sport Update, Peter Weibo, NTA News.
That's how it has been on Panorama today from NTA Maiduguri. From myself, Abubakar Musa, and the whole team, is see you next time.